When you hear that Buster H.R. Oh, man, it's about to go down. You feel the tension in the air. Wrestling fans all over the world, get ready for this right here. They're gonna have a field day with this one. You're about to witness Buster Unmasked! Oh, Lord! Oh, Lord! There's no telling what Buster's gonna say today. We just getting started. Just getting started! Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Hosted by Buster H.R. Johnson. This is a Buster H.R. exclusive. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. You are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. We are now tuned in to Buster Unmasked. Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Welcome to Buster Unmasked! Buster Unmasked!
All right, y'all, we're here. We're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked, and you know what you got to do. Before we even get started, go on and like this video. Go on and share this video with everybody on your friends list. And most importantly, go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that little red bell. That way you know when new content's out. You don't even have to worry about it. All right, guys. We're not long now, man. This starting Monday. We're in game week for the upcoming Dirty Dozens on Sunday, October 19th at 8 p.m. This is a show you do not want to miss. It's going to be hilarious. Got these guys on here. Marco Rose is on here. I'm really interested in seeing how Marco Rose does. We got Justin Klein going against the Don. Both of these guys are heat magnets. Both of them can run their mouth. Wade Matthews is back. I think we're going to see the real Wade Matthews this time. You know I got to promote this, so let me do this and we'll get underway.
You already know who it is.
We be busted!
It's Big Buster, baby, and I got some Dirty Dozens for y'all.
We be busted!
Wrestling rope battles. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready. Here we go. Who be bustin'? We be bustin' like Blassie, like William Perry, we hustlin'. Big in these streets like Big Buster. You a sucker like Lou Brother who trust we busted. Lick off shot, chin get clock, knick knack, patty whack, give a dog a bone. Dirty Dozens with my pros, step into the zone. Wrestling rope battle, leave that alone.
We be busted!
All right, guys, Sunday, October 19th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Do not miss it. Guys, before we get my guest on here today, we have lost another one. Let me just say this, man. We have lost another one of our influential guys in the wrestling business, man. James Bone Crusher Burchell passed away this week, man. And let me just say this. He was one of the most influential guys around our area, especially in the Mississippi area and especially with EPW. He's one of the founding fathers of EPW, man. He's been there for a long time. I want to send out my condolences to his son, all of his family and friends. Our prayers are with you guys. We got a 10-bell salute, so let's take care of that, and then we'll get my guest on. Big loss in the wrestling community around our area, y'all. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. We've lost several guys this year. It's been a heck of a year for Memphis Mid-South wrestlers, and this one, man, this one hits hard. I know it hits everybody at EPW hard. He was a big player in EPW, a big deal with even EPW existing for a long time. Like I said, all our thoughts and prayers go out to Bone Crusher's family and his friends. All right, guys, my guest tonight, let me just say this. You heard the new intro music for the podcast. He made it. You heard the We Be Bustin' for the Dirty Dozens. He made it. This man is a former professional wrestler, and he is the man behind the music of Divine Productions. I bring to you none other than Robert Carter Jr. Robert.
What's up, Bus?
What is going on, man? I'm so glad we finally got you here, dude.
Man, me too, man. I'm looking forward to it. I love it.
It's going to be fun. Folks, as you can tell, we got a slight little lag between us two, so don't think nothing about it. It's about a 3-second lag. Hopefully it'll clear up. Before we even get started, Mark McGee's already with us. Mark, glad you're with us, dude. I appreciate all your support. Mark says, rest in peace, Bone Crusher. Robert, I didn't know Bone Crusher. Me and Bone Crusher maybe crossed paths a couple of times, but you actually got to work with Bone Crusher, man, and you knew this guy personally. Give us your thoughts on Bone Crusher, and man, what a big loss it is for our wrestling community around our area.
It's definitely a big loss. Like you were stating, he was a pillar for North Mississippi, and then it expanded. After years. But yeah, I got to know Bone. He came up here to Memphis with more guys, Big Daddy Nino and Cross and Brody Hawk and Cody Hawk, J.R. Mauler and Cross, man. They all came up. Buzz Harley. They all came up here one night when we were putting on a show at Mount Pisgah Baptist Church, which is our local church, because we had a ring, and we ended up making connects. And I guess we can get into that later. But Bone was a good guy. I got to work with him in the ring, and I mean, he was kind, gentle giant. And I never had an issue with him. He was a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Yeah, man, everything I've ever heard about Bone Crusher, great guy, do anything to help anybody. Didn't take no stuff either. He didn't take no stuff. And from what I understand, no. Like I said, we only crossed paths a couple of times. I want to say in the mid to late 90s, man, maybe right before early 2000s. But it's a big loss, like you said. A big player in Mississippi wrestling, period.
Yeah, definitely.
So look, man, it's all about you today, and it's about Divine Productions, man. But before we get there, everybody know that you used to be a professional wrestler. So look, man, why don't you kind of talk to me about how you got into wrestling, where you started, when you started? Give me the whole rundown, dude.
Okay, well, I was actually still in high school. I want to say sophomore year, Cordova High, and everybody they wanted to know what you want to do with your life and all this type of stuff. And at the time, I wanted to be a professional wrestler. Everybody, all these other people wanted to be doctors and do this and that, and I wanted to be a professional wrestler. And I actually had plans of going down to WWA 4 in Atlanta, Georgia. It didn't end up panning out at the end, but what ended up happening in 2007, at the end of 2007, around December 2007, my dad, he ended up ordering me a ring. It was a 16 by 16 ring from Mike Samples. You were familiar with Mike Samples?
Oh yeah, makes the best rings in the business today. Who knew Mike Samples? turned out to be a ring maker, man.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we ended up getting the ring from Mike Samples. Ended up picking it up on a trailer. We ended up setting it up and everything. And then this is back when MySpace was big, right? So I get on MySpace and I get in touch with guys that I was seeing on Memphis Wrestling. It was Corey Macklin's Memphis Wrestling at the time.
Right.
Like Chris Lex. He was the main one. I talked to him and he ended up coming over and he brought who did he bring? I can't remember who he brought with him the first time. I know, but he as time went on, as he showed me the ropes, he's brought over Tattoo. He's brought over Frank Crime, rest in peace. Derek King has come through. Cross and some more. I mean, a lot of guys end up coming through just to help groom me,
Right.
And Chris Lex saw that I was passionate about it, and at the time I was steady working out, so I had some muscle on me, and they would call me they call me Baby Bishop, like Bishop Cage.
Right.
They called me Baby Bishop at the time. And after that, I ended up going and going and setting up rings for Casey Gold. I'd go with them with Chris Lex, Casey Gold, and set up the rings at the New Daisy and do some refereeing on there. But before the shows start, I'd end up doing some training, and I got to do some training in the ring with Precious, Martin Boyd, and
Right.
Johnny Morton. That's something that stood out. So yeah, I got to do some refereeing there. Got choke slammed by Armageddon, who's the late great V Man. He choke slammed me so bad my tailbone was hurting for I don't know how long. But other than there, I had done some refereeing in Ripley. Let me see. I think those were the main two that I ended up doing refereeing at. And then, we would go ahead and use our ring set up at our local church because the
Right.
pastor there, he was all down for it and everything. Greedy, but he was all good with it. And we end up getting in contact with Cross down in EPW with Bone Crusher and all in that group, and they ended up coming up and putting on a show with us and working with us, and that ended up leading to me going down to Boonville and working down there for 2-3 years, something like that. And yeah, it was cool. Wasn't no money in it, but hey, it was cool because I rode with Samoan Raja and Antoine Smooth. He was the manager, and I rode with them down there. So it was just a carpool deal, and those rides on the road are some of the best.
Right.
And it was real good deal, real good.
So no matter how wrestling evolves, some things never change. When you start out, there ain't no money in it, man, whatsoever, dude. Them car rides are your payday a lot of times, man. That's where you learn the most at, man.
That's right.
So look, you said MySpace.
You learn the most, and you.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Go ahead. I was gonna say you learn the most, and you bust the most balls.
Right, right. Well, that's what forges good pro wrestlers, man. That's where good ideas come from, anyway. Look, Raja Savage is with us. Raja knows Bone Crusher. Both of you guys worked at EPW. I've got some old EPW on my YouTube channel, Old Red Matt. I've got a few matches that you are in, and I want to say maybe I've got a match with you against Raja Savage. Did y'all have some matches or a feud back in the day?
Yeah, we did. We worked against each other and we worked with each other. We did end up winning the tag titles down in EPW too.
So let's talk about that for a few minutes, man. Baby Bishop, man, you were built like a brick shithouse, man, in these videos, dude. How tall are you, Robert?
Man, I'm on like 5'9". So I'm not all the way up there. I wish I was 6'3", but no, I was just 5'9". So I had to compensate for that. You know, since I was shorter, I got to put on some mass. You know what I mean? So that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, I remember when I first seen some of those old tapes, man. You built like a damn fire hydrant. Short but stocky as hell. Built good as hell, man. Good worker in the ring, man. What happened, dude? What did you just get burnt out on wrestling?
That was the main thing was I did get burnt out because I was working up in Newbern, Tennessee. That was after Boonville. I was working up in Newbern, Tennessee with Sarge O'Reilly.
Right.
And it ended up I was having some health issues at the same time. And then where I was working, they were needing more of me, like on weekends and all that. So I ended up having to step back. I mean, you know, Sarge was paying me to come up there, but hell, I got to come back home and I got to go to my shoot job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had to just step back a little bit, and you know, like I said, I was already burnt out and everything. So I just had to step back and live a civilian life, more or less. But I still love the business. I mean, I never got tired of love it.
I think we're all that way, man. I still get burnt out doing the podcast and just different stuff. I still get burnt out. That's why if you notice, sometimes I'm liable to take 3 weeks off or something and not have a podcast. Just because you got to recharge, man. It gets old after a while. And especially if you're on the road wrestling. And then, because I know Sarge back in those days, I feel like Sarge's shows probably didn't end until 11:30 or midnight sometimes, man.
I'd be sitting in the locker room just watching the match on the monitor. Whew, boy, I'm ready to go. But, you know, I got to sit here, you know.
Hey, it's hell getting up early to go to work on a Saturday morning or something, and you've been out on Friday night and you don't get home till 2 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock. And then if you're like me, I couldn't sleep. Like when I come home from a show, I'm amped up. So sometimes it's daylight before I actually go to sleep if I go to a show, especially when I was wrestling. So hell, I'd come home and not even sleep, man, and then have to haul ass that Saturday, you know. It can get old, man. And here's the thing. Let me ask you this, Robert. Now, you know about our wrestling scene, so you know it can be drama-filled at times, man. Back in the day when you were running the roads, were there as much drama then as there seems to be now?
No. Oh no, because I mean, let's see. Back then, okay, so you had Memphis Wrestling, Corey Macklin's Memphis Wrestling,
right.
And you had IWA, what Charlie Parks was running, and other than that, you didn't really have anything in Memphis. There was nothing really in Memphis, so you had to really go out, you know, other towns like Ripley and you know, different places in Arkansas and down in Mississippi. And, you know, we would go down to Boonville and EPW, and then also TFW that was in Tupelo. We were doing that on Friday nights, and we were doing Saturday nights in Boonville.
Okay.
But I noticed that there was a lot of hate for EPW back then, and I just never got that. I guess they figured it was just a bunch of hicks and everything. But the thing was, this promotion is putting on better shows, and they drawing bigger crowds than y'all. But there was so much hate for it, and I just didn't understand that back then. So that was the main piece of drama that I can recall back then.
Right. It's all. Here's the thing. It's worse now. Before social media, the drama was less because you had to say something to somebody. If you had an issue and you said it to somebody else, it didn't take it long it was back around to the guy you said it about. You ended up having to cross paths with this person, you know, probably several times a week. You know what I mean? So the drama got settled real fast. Men handled it like men. You either talked it out or you fought it out. But once it was done, and you went back to business. And I feel like you mentioned MySpace earlier, so I'm figuring, what did you break in about 98?
Oh no. I wasn't but 6 years old in 98. In January of 90, I was 6.
Damn,
No,
Robert.
Yeah, man. 2007 when I started training, and I didn't start refereeing until 2008. And then in that same year, that's when I ended up getting in the ring, 2008.
I didn't even realize MySpace was still around in 2007. Man, I wasn't a social media guy until I started filming the shows and started my YouTube channel. That's the only reason I got on social media. And sometimes I wish I'd have never got on social media, but it's a necessary evil with what we do nowadays. It's just part of it. Used to, you could do something in one town. You could go 40 miles up the road, 50 miles up the road, have the exact same match nobody ever knew. You know, unless they followed you from show to show.
That's right.
And then if they did, then you knew who they were, and they were already at least semi-smart. Now you can't do that. You do something anywhere, and it's fan footage of it out there.
Yep. Everywhere.
Mark McGee says, in my cousin's days, they settle drama personally. Today, the drama goes all over social media, and it does. Let's talk about that, Robert. What do you think about social media? Here's my take on it. If you use it for good, it can be a great thing. But most people seem to want to use it for evil, man.
Yeah. And the thing is, the bad drama, that bad stuff is what people want. That's what they're attracted to. You know, they want to hear that nasty stuff that's going on, and that's just how we are, I guess. You know, it's crazy.
Everybody loves a car crash, man. Everybody loves a car crash for some reason. Yeah, Mark. Robert does got us feeling old because I sure had my timeline a little off with you. I thought you was probably about 10 years older than you actually are, Robert.
No, man. I actually just turned 34.
So look, before we get into Divine Productions, take me back because I want to find out. I love to find out how everybody's very first match went. The very first match you wrestled, not refereed, straight up in the ring as a wrestler. How'd your first match go, man?
Oh, man. I was in there with another trainee, and that wasn't good because the psychology was just, oh man, it was just off. It was off the charts. There was no psychology. It was hit a move, bump, pick him up, run the ropes, hit another move, pick him back up. So it wasn't good. When I look back, when I went think back on it, it wasn't good. But I mean, hey, I didn't know any better back then. You know, I was still training, so I knew how to take bumps. I knew how to protect the guy. I knew how to protect myself. But that was pretty much it. I didn't develop the psychology part of it until I went down to EPW and started learning for Cross, because Cross was booking. He was the booker down there at the time. So that's when I started to learn the psychology part of it.
Yeah, I don't really like putting guys with the same amount of experience in the ring together. Green guys starting out, because you need to put your trainees in there with somebody who's seasoned, somebody who can lead them through a match and kind of, like you said, when you're both green, you're just in there doing moves and running spots. Boom, 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 boom. You ain't really setting nothing up. You're trying to get in and out of there. You know, you're like, I just want to get the hell out of here and everything goes smooth somewhat. No psychology. I was always told, but here's the thing. Sometimes you can't help it. You're on a show. We know how wrestling is. You got a card booked, and then 5 minutes before it's time to go on, somebody's not showing, or a couple people no showing, and all of a sudden you got to fill that spot. So sometimes you can't do nothing about it. But if I have my preference, I would much rather put a green guy in there with an experienced guy, because you're going to get way more out of it. You're going to learn a lot in that one match where, like you said, it's just boom, 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 boom. Who was the guy you had to work your first match, man?
I'd rather not even mention his name. We're not on the best terms now, so I don't even.
So
So
you don't want to put him over or put him under either right now. Is what you saying? You want to leave him in neutral territory?
Exactly.
So look, Mark's back with us. He said, "Who was your favorite guy to work with, Robert?" What's up, man? What's up? Mac Mans is with us.
Golly, favorite guy. You know, I think the favorite guy to work with ended up later on being the guy that we were just talking about, who was my first my first match with.
Oh,
But because we ended up developing this chemistry and everything, and he ended up coming down to Boonville and working and stuff. But like I said, I ain't finna put him over, put him under. It is what it is.
so look, let's talk about EPW just for a second. What it was to what it's become now, Robert. Man, talk to me about that. Did you ever believe EPW would grow like it has?
I had no idea. I had no idea. It never crossed my mind. And I've over the years I've been so happy for them, because I've been staying. I'm still in touch with some of the guys, with a lot of the guys. I'm friends with them on Facebook and whatnot, and I see what they've been doing. I see the YouTube shows and whatnot, and all the different areas that they can, they're showing locally on television, and I mean it's great, and they still packing that building out, and it's awesome. It really is awesome. I'm very happy for them.
Yeah, man, EPW I think is really growing. Man, really, just in the last 2 years, they've grown leaps and bounds. They're opening up new TV markets all the time. I think they're on Title Match Wrestling too. They also got their YouTube channel. EPW is turning into the big promotion around here. It's running neck and neck. It and Memphis Wrestling are neck and neck running that race on who's actually the top company around the Mid-South area. And when I look back at some of those old tapes with that red mat, man, it's the same building and everything. But like you said, man, they're still packing the thing in, because I want to say some of these matches were from maybe 2010. I may be wrong about that. 2010, 11, yeah. They could have been a little earlier. But man, there's a huge difference in EPW then and now.
Yeah, man. I mean, the production has just evolved so much. It's got so much better. I mean, it has improved a whole lot.
All right, Mac Mans is with us. He said, "How and when did you catch the wrestling bug, Robert?"
Man, I can't even tell you when I caught the wrestling, but all I know is I was a baby. That's all I know, because I can try to remember as much as I can. I just remember there's this the earliest memory I got in my head is being just, I don't know how old, but I was a little dude, and being at the Mid-South Coliseum, and that was in the early '90s, so it was past the prime days,
right?
But they were still running. And that's the earliest memory I got. And then, after that, I remember being big into the Attitude Era. That mom and dad didn't mind that we were watching the bra and panties matches and all that stuff, switching from Raw to Nitro. So, and The Rock was my favorite back then. He was my favorite during that era. So yeah, that's, man. So I caught the bug early, very early.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I don't never remember not having wrestling in my life. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yes,
and look,
sir.
I was born in '74, so I'm a little bit older than you, man. Man, when I was a little kid, be sitting in my mom and dad's living room, I had this giant panda bear. And back then, the wrestling came on. Memphis wrestling came on from 11 to 12:30. It was a 90-minute show. Shit, man, I wrestled. I beat the crap out of that panda bear, Robert. I did every wrestling move there was to do on that panda bear, dude. DJ Cash is with us. What's up, man? I'm glad you took in, dude. I see you got a big match coming up Friday night, my man. So, Robert, before we get to, because we're finna switch gears from wrestling to music engineering, but before we do that, I'm going to plug my sponsors and then we'll be right back with me and you, dude. For all of your breaking news, sports, and weather in and around the Jackson, Tennessee, and the West Tennessee area, be sure to tune in to 101.5 FM or 103.5 FM. You can also log in to talkinwesttennessee.com. That's TALKNWESTTN.com or newstalk1035.com. For all of your in-home care and consumer direct services in and around the Caruthersville, Missouri area, be sure to call Glowing Hearts at 573-643-2537. Their priority is caring for you and your family. Be sure to check out the Boot Hill Sports Network on YouTube for all of your sports news and live local games in and around the Missouri Boot Hill. That's BOOTHEEL. That's the Boot Hill Sports Network on YouTube. The Boot Hill Sports Network is also the home of American Hostile Championship Wrestling and the Unified Wrestling Alliance every single Saturday morning at 11 a.m. on YouTube. Professional wrestling just the way you like it. All right, guys, let me get Robert back on here. He popped in and out a couple times like he just did then, having some connection issues. Mac Mans, I do know, man, big deal in Mark Tree, and then Natural States Wrestling, man. You're a big deal in Natural States Wrestling, dude. You taking it over. Let's get Robert back on here. Hopefully he'll Robert, we lost you, man.
Hey, yeah, man, I don't know why, but when you cut to the sponsors, it kept kicking me out for each one of them, and I come back and it kicked me out. So I don't know what happened. But
yeah,
hey, we're back.
I seen you pop in and out 3 or 4 times, man. Technology, man. I can't do nothing with it, man. All I can do is try to work it, dude. So look, let's move from your old gig to your new gig, man. Divine Productions, the man behind the music. Like I said in the opening, you engineered the music for this podcast, the We Be Bustin' for the Dirty Dozens, man. Talk to me about how you got into making music, man.
Man, it didn't start from much. Me, my brother, and one of his best friends, we still have a business that Pure Herbal Immunity, where we make herbal teas that help fight diseases and all of the issues that you might be dealing with. And my oldest brother, he ended up working on a theme for Pure Herbal Immunity, which we call FIT, PHIT. And next thing you know, I started. He had introduced me to the software and everything, so I started doing it. And next thing you know, his friend said, "Why don't you make something for Johnny Dotson?" I was like, okay. And that was last year,
right?
And I ended up making it, working on something with Johnny Dotson. I didn't tell him, but I ended up working on something, and my brother was helping me. And I introduced it to Johnny, and Johnny loved it, and he started using it. And next thing you know, we end up making him things for Bluff City Wrestling. We did things for UWA, and making more things for them. And, you know, it just kept on coming and coming and coming. And then this year, it kind of really cranked up when I really was like, you know what, I almost had like a spiritual, it was like almost a spiritual awakening one night, at night when I was sleeping, and I was having some terrible, terrible nightmares that just kept going on and on and on. And that was like the night after I was thinking about really pushing this music forward. So, and my mom was telling me, she's like, you know, that's probably the devil trying to cut you off, you know. And I was like, you know, I don't know. It could be that, you know, it feels like it might be it, because I was thinking maybe me doing this music is what caused them nightmares. You know, am I inviting Satan in? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I wasn't sure, but I kept on going, kept on plugging away, and I've been working on things for all these guys, these different promotions, and then and as you put in your posts, I make music for different occasions, all occasions. So I've done business jingles and then the podcast themes, like for you and others, and I've done memorial tributes. And yeah, it's been a huge blessing, and I just want to continue to help. And the thing is, I'm thankful because I'm giving back to the wrestling community in a way that I don't really have to go out there and put my body on the line, you know. But
Right.
I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for it, and I'm happy to still be able to contribute in some way.
Yeah, man, you do great work.
Yeah.
Look, Mayor McCall's with us. What's up, John, man? You're in my prayers too, man. I seen your post today. I hope everything works out for you, dude. Dorian Vane's with us. He says, that's cool. Dorian, ain't nobody cooler than you, man. You know that. We all know that, Dorian. So, Robert, man, you talked about working on. Go ahead.
I'm still trying to do some music for Dorian. Yeah, I'm waiting on Dorian.
So, look, man, you talked about working on music for Johnny and then the Bluff City theme. And here's something I don't know that if you know or not, but I got to listen to the original Bluff City theme. The first one you did, dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I've still got it in my messenger. It is as good as anything on the WWE would put out. I promise you that. It had everything. It was rap. It was rock. It had a little bit of funk. Man, when I listened to it, I told my wife, I said, SmackDown could use this. Raw could use this. This is just like the intro music you would see if you were watching WWE, man. Off the charts good. And I know you had to go back and rework it because they needed some more company names added into it, which changed it some. But that original, both are off the charts. But, man, I'm going to tell you something. That original was blowed me away, man. Right then when I heard that, I knew right then when I got ready to do my podcast, get a new intro and stuff, you were going to do it. And then the Dirty Dozens popped up. And, I mean, who else? Who else was I going to get to make this music, man? It had to be you.
And I really appreciate that. I think you've given you might have given me more props than anybody. Even some of the guys that I've done themes for. So I do appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No, dude, thank you, man. I love we be busting, man. That I love it, dude. It fits the Dirty Dozens perfect. And then the intro, when we talked about making the intro for the podcast, I told you, I said, I want it to be like a punch in the face or a middle finger. And the attitude, man, the attitude was there. Actually, I've got two versions. I've got the one that you heard tonight, and there's another one that's a little more 80s style rock. And I'm eventually going to get a whole new intro made to it too. But off the charts, man. Let's talk about some of the people and places. The UWA, man, the new UWA intro music off the charts. Let's Get Hostile, dude. It's like a mantra, man. You can't help if you hear it one time, it sticks in your head, man.
Yes.
So
I love that one. That was it. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Robert. You're good. Go ahead, man. Let's talk
Oh,
about
oh,
let's
oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, it definitely has that that it just sticks. It just sticks. So yeah, it was very catchy. Let's get hostile. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like you're getting some traction, man. I feel like that it's gonna. I feel like you keep doing what you're doing, stay the course. I feel like it's gonna blow up for you. And like you said, it's a way to still be involved in the wrestling business without having to be on the road, in the ring, taking bumps, abusing your body. That's kind of what I do here, man. I really don't like going to shows. I don't like traveling, is what it is. It ain't that I don't like going to shows. I just don't like traveling anymore. I did it so long that I just do not like traveling. When it gets dark, I want to be home or close to home. If you're going to get me to come to a show, that mug's going to have to be probably 30 minutes from my house or less, man, if you're going to get me there live. But let's talk about that, man, because here's the thing. Everybody puts their matches and their shows on YouTube now. And without custom-made music, it's hard to put these things on without cutting the music and the person's intro completely out because they'll get copyrighted. Even my original music for my original intro for the podcast, it was copyright-free music by the band who made it, copyright-free. But every time I played it on Facebook, still to this day, every time I share an old podcast that it's on, I immediately get hit with an air shed, a revenue share deal where I got to accept revenue sharing with the owner of the music, even though it's copyright free. So, man, you don't know how much you're helping these guys. I don't know that these guys realize how much custom-made intro music that fits them, fits who they are. Let's talk about that, man. When somebody comes to you, like when I came to you and I can kind of give you my 2 or 3 little bullet points of kind of what I was looking for, take me through the process of hearing what I have to say and then putting that out and turning it into something viable, dude.
So I get the idea from the talent or whoever it is, and then I go and listen to similar, tracks of something that's something more mainstream. Like you said, you wanted something like NWA, West Coast. West Coast vibes. And I go listen to that, and I started to, get this sound in my head, and then next thing I go to work, and then from there, I started to develop, try to come up with some lyrics and everything that might work, and you send what you've come up with to the talent, and they either like it or they don't like it. They might want to make some edits. And so you go back through there and do your edits and everything. And for me, if you paying for what I'm doing for you, then I'm gonna make sure that you're satisfied at the end. I'm gonna keep on working until you satisfied.
And that's how it should be, man. I mean, here's the thing. I understand if somebody, no matter what you make them, there's always something wrong with it. You know what I mean? And they keep wanting it reworked. Well, that becomes an issue. But I mean, I love what you did for me. And I told you I wanted old school NWA. Believe it or not, Robert, I'm old enough. The first time I ever heard the Dope Man album was actually on an album. It was a record. I had a friend that his cousin lived in California in probably 1988 or 9 for a little while. So when he come home, he had the Dope Man album on vinyl. So we would listen to that thing. We listened to it so much we wore it out. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted that old school NWA feel. And man, you nailed it, dude. I've got the short version where I promote the thing. It ain't but 40 seconds, but like you said, you give it to the customer and listen to it. I wanted mine stretched out just a little bit. So you took it, you reworked it, and that's the actual intro you hear on the podcast, on the actual Dirty Dozens. The intro for the Dirty Dozens is longer than the little short one I played to plug to promote the shows. But hell, man, it didn't take you. I want to say we talked, you sent it to me, and I told you, can we stretch it out a little bit? And hour or so later, you had it worked out and refixed, man. And I love it, dude. It's off the charts, man.
I appreciate that, man. It was a pleasure working. You were easy to work with too. So anybody that's easy to work with is always good. But hey, I'm not cutting anybody out. Hey, bring it on.
Well, let's talk about that. Here's the thing: you ain't got to name no names, but have you had any instances where you've had some people that's kind of hard to work with that were kind of never satisfied yet?
I may have had a couple. And and thing is, I would be understanding with them, but at the same time, they might have come across a little ungrateful and needy, and it's like, man, do you realize what you're paying for what you're actually getting? So I mean, you could at least show a little more appreciation for what I'm actually doing for you, because like you said, custom music, I mean, that encompasses the gimmick,
Right.
encompasses the character. You need something that's going to make your brand more established, make your brand stand out. Because I mean, as a pro wrestler, that's your brand, your name and your image. That is your brand. So you need something that's gonna make you stand out from the rest. So I mean, if you could be a little more grateful for what I'm doing for you, then hey, cool. But I'll work with you.
Well, how's business been, man? I feel like you've really, I mean, since we first talked about this, and since a year ago when you first made the Johnny Dotson music and the first Bluff City, I feel like you've slowly but surely started building up you a clientele list right there, dude.
I did. I did. Especially with Mid Southern Championship Wrestling in Arkansas, Osceola. They, the Claps, Carl Clapp. Yeah, Carl Clapp he was the main one. He sent me a lot of guys, and I got to work on things for them. And I was grateful. I worked on Carl's theme too, and Harry, and just quite a few of them. And hey, and I tell them, hey man, send me more, send more. Send more. Spread the word.
I love the MCW theme, man. I love the theme, the actual theme for MCW itself. I love that, man. It's spot on, dude. It's nail on the head. And here's the thing: Carl and them are perfect examples of a place that why you need custom music, because they put their stuff out there live on TikTok, live on YouTube. They've got a YouTube show. Ain't nothing worse than putting your YouTube show together or your product out on YouTube or Facebook or TikTok, and every time you turn around, you're getting copyright claims. So custom made music cuts all that out. You don't have to worry about that no more. It's better on the talent. It's better on the promoter. It's better on the company. It's just better all the way around, man. Austin Everest, I know you made his theme, the Mountaintop, man. I love it too, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like Austin. He was really Austin was easy to work with too. I mean, very easy. Wasn't shy on any money. And he ended up having a OVW dark match that he worked, and they wanted his music to have it was a distribution contract type deal, and he paid for that, which was a nice amount, and he's using that theme, and he's a mountaintop there, and so yeah, I dig Austin.
I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody needs to keep an eye on that kid. When I first met that kid about a year and a half ago, he was probably about 60 pounds heavier than he is now. used to be a heavy kid, used to be a little fat kid. Apparently, he ain't little. He's tall as hell. He's about 6'3", but he used to be a heavy set kid. Lost a bunch of weight. You know, you're heavy set. You lose a bunch of weight fast. You got all that skin. Man, I watched him over the last year. He went and did some time with Dr. Tom Pritchard at the Jacob Pritchard Wrestling School. And ever since he came back from there, every time I see him, he's better looking, better in the ring. He's won. One day you're going to be able to say, because he's a kid they need to watch out for. He is going to make it. I believe it 100%. That young man will make it to the big time one day. And hey, you'll always be able to say, I made his first intro music, man.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. He's got it. He's got it. He's I noticed. I'm not trying to throw any shade. Who am I to throw some shade? But I noticed. You know, his promos. I just need to see a little more emotion. But other than that, I mean, the way he works and everything, he's doing it. He's there. He's getting there. He really is getting there.
Yeah, I don't really think he's probably been in the business, but maybe 3 years at the most, maybe. And I could be a little wrong about that. Could be a little more, could be a little less, but he hadn't really been in the business that long. And here's the thing about him: he takes it serious. You can tell by his work ethic. You can tell by his, I mean, the difference in his physique since the first time I seen him till now. He's a hard worker and he's willing to go do whatever it takes to make it. And I feel like he's one of the guys around this area that people need to really watch out for, because he's out there. He ain't shy to put himself out there in the right places either.
That's right. And his willingness to invest in his gimmick, to really invest in his gimmick, like with the theme and with his attire and all that type of stuff. You got a lot of guys, they don't want, it's not, some guys got the money to invest in their gimmick, but they just won't do it. Right. And I guess they're just cool with just, you know, being, you know, the local guy, you know. So, I mean, hey, but everybody's different.
Right. Right. Look, you don't just make wrestling theme music either. Like we said, you made this podcast music, business jingles, man. What all kind of different businesses and stuff have you actually made custom music for, man? And what do you like best? Do you like doing jingles and stuff for businesses, or do you really like doing the wrestlers' theme songs better?
Let me see the businesses I've done. We have a convenience store locally here in Cordova, Tennessee. Adams, it's an Adams Beer and Sig. I did a jingle for them recently. I've done a couple jingles for it's Chef Flavors. They sell a spinach artichoke dip, which is delicious, and it's in Walmart and Kroger stores, and it's continually to, you know, it's continuously building over time. Let me see who else. We got the sports teams and whatnot, like the with Mark Manley. I was working on I did the football team up there, the Hayti, Missouri.
Right.
Hayti, yes sir, yeah. They did the Carruthersville Tigers theme just recently. I did a thing for the Cordova Wolves, and you know, out here, Cordova, Tennessee, I did a theme for them. And man, I you know, whatever comes, man, I'm up for it. But my favorite thing is the wrestling, because it just brings me back home.
Well, let me ask you this: did you ever think that when you stopped wrestling that you would be back in the wrestling business, just not in a wrestler's, like not an active wrestler? Did you ever dream that you would turn out to do something like this, where you still got to be in the business, man, without actually having to be in the business? You know what I mean?
I had dreams and ambitions of actually working backstage, doing something backstage to help the guys, to help the promotions, whatnot. And then this ends up coming up out of nowhere, and I feel like this might be my stride, at this point. So I'm very content with doing this as long as I can get the clients. Hey, I'm happy doing it. I'm happy doing it. I'm gonna deliver as much as I can.
Man, I think you do a great job. I'm gonna be honest with you, Mark Manley. Man, I work close with Mark. He's been well satisfied with everything you've done. Johnny Dotson, same way. And like I said, man, that first, I mean, really, it makes me want to go. I wish I would have downloaded it to the thing here so we could actually listen to that first thing, because it was I mean, it was polished, dude. It was everything that you want, that a wrestling show needs in their intro music, man. It was everything. It was perfect. And like I said, I told my wife, I said, man, that's as good as anything you would hear or on the WWE intro in their shows. That's what it sounded like. It had that big time feel to it, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I try to look for when I do it. I want something that's gonna stand out and give it a big time, big event feel. Or this guy means something. You know what I mean? So that's always what I try to go after.
So let me ask you this, man. Where do you want Divine Productions to go over the next couple of years, dude?
Hey, I just want to keep on being able to pay my bills and continue to satisfy talent and businesses, podcasts, whoever. If you need some music, come here. Hit me up. Hit me up. I ain't hard to find, and I will respond.
So what? Look, man, we're fixing to wrap it up. We're right at an hour right now. Before we get out of here, Robert, tell these people how and where to get a hold of you at, man. I feel like the more people that hears your theme music, man, I feel like you're gonna get more and more clients. Tell these people how they can get in touch with you, man.
Okay, well, you can always get in touch with my phone number. It's 901-287-1704. You call there, and you more than likely you end up just leave me a message. I'm definitely gonna get back to you. Facebook, it's you can hit me up at Robert Carter Jr. And we have a music page on there. It's Divine Productions. And also I'm on Instagram. It's One Divine Factor, One Divine _Factor, and that was actually tailored to my wrestling name from when I performed. It was Robert the Main Factor Divine. So yeah, that's how you can get in touch with me.
Man, you just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep plugging forward. I feel like the clientele list is going to grow and grow. I feel like you're on you're working on being the top guy around here making custom music, dude.
Man, and that, you know what, that's one of my goals, man. I want to be the guy that these workers come to for their theme music, because they need it. That you need it. If you're trying to go out there and you want to be taken seriously as a professional wrestler, you need some theme music that's going to encompass your gimmick. It's going to put you over. So I want to be the guy to help you do it.
Hey, Jake the Snake Roberts, he said it over and over. My match starts before I even walk out the curtain. The minute you hear my music, the fans start right then knowing what to expect. The match don't start when you break the curtain. The match starts the minute the first little sound of your music hits, man. That's when your match starts right then. And custom-made music is a way to create that. Here's the thing about wrestling. It's about evoking emotion out of people. And if you've got intro music that really gets people, that people like, that's the first start already. You're already on the good foot when you go out there. whether you're heel or babyface. Because if you're a heel, I want some asshole music, man. If I'm a heel, I want some music that says I'm an asshole. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Robert, man, thank you so much for coming on. I've been looking forward to this one. I knew we was going to have a good podcast. Keep plugging forward and doing what you're doing, my friends. You're really good at what you do.
All right, man. Thank you so much for having me on. You have a blessed night, all right?
You too, my friend. All right, y'all, you heard it right there. Robert Carter Jr., Divine Productions. Best custom music maker around our area. Bar none. Easy to work with, affordable, fast turnaround. Man, all you got to do is hit this guy up and tell him what you're looking for. Give him an idea of what you want, and he can make it happen. All right, you know what I got to do. I got to promote these dozens one more time. So let's get that done, and I'll let you guys out of here.
You already know who it is. We be bustin'. It's Big Buster, baby, and I got some dirty dozens for y'all. We be bustin'. Wrestling road battles. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready. Here we go. Who be bustin'? We be bustin' like Blasi, like William Perry, we hustlin'. Big in these streets like Big Buster. You a sucker like Lou Brother who trust. We bustin'. Lick off shot, chin get clock, knick-knack, patty whack, give a dog a bone. Dirty dozens with my pros, step into the zone. Wrestling roast battle, leave that alone. We be bustin'.
All right, guys, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, all about the Dirty Dozen is starting this coming Monday. I've got a podcast every night of the week. Monday and Tuesday is Dirty Dozen contestants. Wednesday is the Gentleman Club from 901 Wrestling. Thursday and Friday, Dirty Dozen setting up for Sunday. Do not miss it. I want to thank everybody who tuned in. I want to thank Robert for joining us. Once again, if you need custom theme music or anything for a business or whatever, hit up Divine Productions. Guys, until Monday, y'all take it easy.
When you hear that Buster H.R. Oh, man, it's about to go down. You feel the tension in the air. Wrestling fans all over the world, get ready for this right here. They're gonna have a field day with this one. You're about to witness Buster Unmasked! Oh, Lord! Oh, Lord! There's no telling what Buster's gonna say today. We just getting started. Just getting started! Welcome to